notes on these chapters already till I think safe drive, safe life. So today again we will start with this new chapter which is related to train. Now you all know the trains have already started replying. That is, we again the trains are plying after 7 to 8 months. Okay, so this chapter is saying that about the trains. All of you have some way or the other must have been on train. Now, many of you have been to aeroplanes as well. And there is a mention of submarines. Now, submarines is also a kind of a means of transport. So these all are means of various means of transport, out of which aeroplane is the most costliest. But if you want to go to a far place very quickly, then you may opt for this option or mode of transport, because with aeroplane you can reach very easily to a different country or a different place within a very short time. Then comes the train. Trains are also another means of fast transport. There are some, mail trains which hardly stops in all the stoppages, and there are some local trains which ply locally within the same area or within some distances, but we save time. Then we have buses. Then we have our own automobiles, that is car, rickshaw. Then you have bikes, so on and so forth. Next is aeroplanes. How do they fly? They have a jet engine. They use jet oil. With the turbines, with the help of turbines, they follow that principle of flying. Then similarly, submarines, they also travel at very high speed under the water. Again, there are usually, now we come to trains. The chapter is mainly dealing with that. Now trains are sometimes 9 bogies, sometimes 12 bogies, so you can imagine. And there are other trains, you'll find that there are some goods trains as well. Okay, what in Bengali known as malgari. So it is also quite a long, especially many malgaris or many this goods train, they remain on the tracks, especially at the station Kalyani. If you have been there, you'll be seeing those. Then, and a train can and within that each bogie of this, it can carry around passengers around 32, I mean many passengers in fact. So a bus, compared to the bus or any other type mode of vehicle, this train's capacity of carrying passengers is 4 times. So this is a easy and the cheapest means of or mode of transport which carries a lot of people from one destination to another, and that too within a very short time and within a very low cost. Hence, since now this 8 months there were no trains, so whosoever have traveled due to this COVID, the trains were not plying. But then again, due to the new or due to this new medium, now since after 7 months, the government thought that it is better to start the trains again, because all the passengers were facing very difficulty, because somebody has to go to their office. So how will they do? Okay, from here to Kolkata, traveling was very difficult, as well as it was a very costly affair. So now with the governments taking the decision of running the trains again, so the cost as well as the energy and the time they're saving on to everything. Now, trains have 12 bogies, so larger number of people can be accommodated in the train. Accommodated means you can manage, right? And since there are many, and it is quite spacious also, so more people or large people travel. And there are more compartments in mail train, around 20 or even 22. So Even trains fly during the night also, so it is around just it takes a break of, say, local trains takes a break of say 2 to 3 hours, and then again from morning 2 a.m. or sometimes 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. again the train starts going. So you get this mode of transport, you can say around the clock, that is always. Then you can see there is a gap in the wheels, so it cannot move away from the rail lines. So if you observe that carefully, you'll get to see that. So when you'll see any train coming, the wheels of the train are so made that they are ready to travel on the track, and there is a gap. So it never train never gets derailed. If it is so, then there is a major accident. There have been, I think you have heard on the TV previous years. So the bogies actually did not or the train derailed. Derailment, it came off the tracks. Then there are certain signals, okay, how they stop. You might say every station they're stopping, so there are always signaling. The driver is very careful, they have to maintain times. Drivers see the signals, they start at the right time and then press the brakes. So since trains are always running one after another, so the timing factor and the signaling factor is very important. If it is not, then you have the chances of meeting accidents, because after one maybe 10 minutes there is another train, then again 15 minutes there is another train. So this process is on a continuous basis. Next is that there were coal engines too. Now the trains run on electricity, right? Then there now they were known as those trains which were previously coal was used to run them. They were known as steam engines. Now, how they used to work? Coal was burnt, and then there is to vaporize water, burn to vaporize water, right? Then water used to bubble. Same the pressure cooker system. If you actually boil the water in the pressure cooker, what happens? The pressure rises and it compels the piston to rise and give a city, right? In the pressure cooker, you must be seeing there's a whizzing sound and there is a whistle, right? Same concept is followed here also. The pressure from this vapor used to push out the piston, and then it used to help the wheels of the train rotate. Fine. Next is how long ago this thing happened and from where do trains run in the country. Now, so we have to study the invention, or from the when did it first we had steam engines. Actually, the birth of railways. On 16th April 1853, the first train carrying passenger was introduced in the country. So these dates are very important, and since it is already written in a colored font, you must learn this up. In the year 1854, the train from Howrah to Hooghly was started. This was when trains started running in our state. So, if a question comes that when the trains actually started moving and when was the first train that ran in the country, you must write this whole detail. Next is that what are the advantages of train, which you all might be knowing it. First of all, the transportation became very easier. Transportation became very what do you say, took very less time. Transportation became very cheap, and you and many people could travel together in a single way, and without any hassles. Then carrying goods also became easier, because if you've seen malgaris or goods train, there are a lot of goods that are coming, they are shipped, and from the port they are then they are then put into this goods train, and then the goods train carries these goods throughout India anywhere, and the transportation cost is also less. See, they carry large quantities of coal, iron, oil, and they travel very easily. So, these are the advantages of a goods train. Next is that how did people start riding in trains from the beginning? Now, people did not board the trains initially because they were very afraid because it was a new mode of transportation. We, as if suppose if you are first, you are not used to traveling by air. We travel very less, in fact. So, anybody who's traveling in the air or by aeroplane for the first time, they always have some tension or they always are in a phobia. What will happen? What will happen when the plane will take off? What? How will I behave? Or what is the way? I'm so confused. So this kind of lot of things plays on your mind when you are actually traveling a different mode of transport which you are not used to. So similarly, this train at that time was a new mode of transportation, so people were very scared to ride up on the train, but now we are not at all. But at that time it was a new mode of transport. So there were no railway tracks in most of the places at that time. And there was one more thing, trains were boarded with many people, so there were no discrimination. As that time, you must remember, there was very class discrimination, the upper class, the lower class. So people used to feel very uneasy if they were traveling with a lower class of people. So just like that, you when you all sit next to each other and study. Similarly, all the trains are in the same. Again, the train used to travel through many regions. So, in this way, people from different regions started intermingling with each other through train. Now, intermingling means they are now mixing with each other. Like, suppose if you want to go to Kolkata, now you will board the train. So, people of Kolkata and people of here, they have different, ways of leading life. So, once when you are getting mixing, when you are getting friendly, when you get to know each other, what happens? We learn something from each other, right? So, there was a kind of a lot of cultures and a lot of things got amalgamated. Next is here there was a famous film that was that time very it was a well directed film by Satyajit Ray named Pather Pachali. Now there they had two important characters. You, if you remember, if you have not seen, then do see, where your parents must have seen, called Durga and Opu. And there was a book named Pather Pachali, which was written by Vibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay, and it was this film was on inspiration or based on inspired by this novel written by Vibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay. So you'll see the film was made regarding a train, and there used to be a train that used to go, and these two brothers and sisters used to run from their home to see how the train used to pass through the station. So and people so the train halted at the station, that is stopped at the station, and people alighted from the train. Alighted means got down from the train and got into the train. So this was a very peculiar thing which these two characters, that is Opu and used to always watch the film. Goers were surprised. They thought that the train might come out of the screen. So when this was the first, this film was made, everything was new. The train was new, the movie concept was new. So everything was very new to the people. So they thought that as the train was being shot, like through the camera, everything the train might come out. So they thought that the train might come out from the screen.